In today's video, I'm going to talk about how your personal brand can triple your revenue without having to spend a penny on ads, right? Now, let me just give you a quick background on who I am, because I used to work a 9 to 5 job back in the UK. I quit that, I moved to Dubai. I started my own online coaching business and I didn't spend any money on ads, right? I literally kept it all organic. I used my personal brand and I scaled that to 6 figures in the first year. Now I'm on a mission to helping founders, business owners, and entrepreneurs who are maybe making 6, 7, or 8 figures a year and scale their businesses through creating a personal brand. Right? Now, if that does sound like you, click the link in the description below, book in a call with me, and we can have that conversation. But ultimately, right, let me explain how your personal brand can literally triple your revenue, right? And it did for me. So let me just give you guys a quick story. When I moved to Dubai, right, I had no money, but I had a personal brand and I was doing YouTube full time, right? So I was making money through sponsorships initially. So that's all I was doing, was creating content, getting paid through sponsorships. That would then trigger more sponsors to want to work with me, and it just kept going from there, right? And around that time, I was getting around 1,000, 2,000, maybe 3,000 views on my YouTube channel. And I was making videos mainly on dropshipping, affiliate marketing, that kind of stuff, right? So I was basically like in the make money niche. And what I realized was that I'm using my personal brand as a business, right? I'm not using it for my business. And it got really repetitive, and I thought, you know what, let me start my own online business and use my personal brand to grow it. Now, bear in mind, when I started my YouTube channel, and I've been doing YouTube for about 3 to 4 years, right? So I've been building my personal brand for the last 3 to 4 years. When I first started YouTube, I was doing videos on cars, right? So I'd be making videos on cars, reviewing them, that kind of stuff. Then what I did was transition into the make money niche. Then I obviously started doing more dropshipping videos. That's where I was making money through sponsors, right? And then I decided to start my own business, which I then used my personal brand to sort of get me clients for, right? And in the first month of doing that, so starting my online coaching business, promoting it in the first month through my personal brand, I managed to make 5 figures in the first month, right? This just shows how powerful your personal branding is, because I did not know that money was there, right? I did not know that I already built up an audience, a following of people that were so warm, that were just ready to buy from me. And I remember when I launched my program, I had so many people that were just like, yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested. I want to join. I want to join. So this showed me the power of a personal brand. And the reason why a personal brand works so well is because it builds trust, right? It builds authority. So when I'm making videos, for example, and the videos I was making back then were just me talking in the balcony with a camera in my hand, right? And I was just talking about how to make money online, how to make money through a coaching business, all of that kind of stuff. And I'd kind of built that authority throughout the years with making dropshipping videos and other make money online videos, right? So I kind of knew what I was talking about. But I didn't realize I had built up a following. I had built up, I guess you could say, a fan base in a way, right? Because when I started, booking in calls to speak to clients, I was so surprised at how much they watched a lot of my content and how much they watched a lot of my videos, right? And it really made me think that, okay, cool, like these people have watched me for this many months, maybe even years, and they have been so warmed up with me. It's like, think of it like this, right? Creating content, creating organic content, it's like speaking to one person, but at scale, right? So imagine you having a conversation with one person specifically, but doing that at scale. So everyone else feels like you're having that conversation directly with them, but you're actually talking to a bunch of people at the same time. That's what YouTube does. That's what content creation does, because those videos I was making were probably getting about 200-300 views. I was speaking to 300 people one-to-one on a 10-minute video. And you can only do that through content, right? And I didn't realize that me doing that is me building a personal connection with one specific person, but at scale. And this is why when I was jumping on the calls, a lot of people were kind of telling me information that I actually forgot I spoke about, right? So for example, they'll tell me things about my personal life, which I might have mentioned in an older video. And it kind of blew my mind. I'm like, wow, okay, like they know this, it's crazy. But this is what a personal brand does. This is why it's so important. And this is how it can triple your revenue, because what you do by having a personal brand is that you add that human touch to your business, right? And with the way AI is going and a lot more things being artificial and you don't know what's real and what's fake anymore, this is where authenticity comes out, right? And authentic businesses, authentic people are the people that are going to win at the end of the day, because people are going to trust businesses who have a face attached to them. This just makes it a lot more trustworthy. And the best thing about starting a personal brand is that you can have your personality out in front of a camera, and there's going to be a select few people that are just going to love that, right? Like they're going to choose to work with you just because you might have said one thing, or just because they relate to one thing. That's something I've noticed as well. A lot of my clients that joined my program, they related to me. For example, I used to work at Sky back in the day. I had a few people that joined my program that also work at Sky, or also used to work at Sky, or also used to work at Argos, or related to my previous experiences, right? So it just shows that, okay, like people like you because of your experiences, because they relate to you, because you might have said that one thing or something that they, find in common with you. This is why a personal brand can literally make you so much more money. Now, if you're already making 6, 7, or 8 figures in your business right now, and you haven't got a personal brand, well, honestly, you can literally 3 to 5x your business quite comfortably, right? And now building a personal brand is important, but you obviously need to do it the correct way. A lot of people think that they can just film content and that's just them building a personal brand. You need to have direction, right? And if you don't know what you're doing, well, you're just gonna be making content and putting stuff out there for the sake of it, right? Ultimately, you want to position your content so you get more leads for your business, get more clients, more customers, so you can actually grow your business and also grow your personal brand as well. You don't want to just make content that's not going to grow your personal brand either, right? So obviously there's ways to do that. Now, again, if you do need any help with that, I work with founders, business owners, or entrepreneurs who are already making 6, 7, or 8 figures on their business, start and scale their own personal brand. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to click the link in the description below and we'll have a conversation. And a lot of people think, right, to scale, they need to do ads. And to be fair, there is semi-truth in that. Yes, if you want to scale crazy numbers, yeah, definitely. Cold ads can work, right? But if you do not have any organic background, you're just kind of throwing money on ads. It's very, very cold. The best combination is throwing money on ads and also building your personal brand. Now, let me explain why that works and why that's so powerful. Because building your personal brand, right, you're already putting your face out there, you're already showing people who you are, you're already talking about certain things, right? And when you then start doing ads, people have already seen you. So if people have already seen your YouTube video and then they see you on an ad, they're so much more likely to click the ad, right? Because they're like, oh, I saw this guy's video, it makes sense, this and that. Then they're more likely to become a client or a customer for you. So this is why ads alone isn't a great strategy, but having organic and ads working together is almost like a killer strategy, right? Another misconception is that a lot of people think that, okay, I need to spend so much money on camera equipment and, I need to get the best camera, best mic, all of these things, right? Simply not true. I'm actually filming this on a DJI camera, which to be fair is considered a good camera, right? But you can actually film like on an iPhone. Like I'll give you an example, Charlie Morgan, he films on his phone. You've got Sabri Subi who films, I believe, on a phone as well. Like if you look at all these top level people who are building a personal brand, top level entrepreneurs who are building a personal brand, they're just using their phone or like a cheap mic, right? So if you are trying to build your personal brand, do it with something very, very easy. Do it with a phone. Sometimes having too much of a professional look kind of deters that personal brand because it looks very manufactured. It looks very ad-like, right? It looks very perfect. You want to kind of have a little bit of, graininess to the camera. You don't want it to be perfect because that adds a human element to it. This is what builds more trust and this is what builds more authority. This is why clients and customers are more likely to go with you than anyone else, right? Because of these little things. Clients and customers want to buy into a business, want to buy their products, want to buy their services from people that are just human, right? Not manufactured people. And if you create content in the right way by posting on social media, posting on YouTube, posting on LinkedIn, posting on Instagram, and you do this all the correct way, well, you're going to be putting yourself in front of so many people, right? Thousands of people, maybe even millions. You're going to build your personal brand. People are going to see your face more. And yes, with ads, it's kind of the same thing. But with social media, they kind of have a choice to click on the content. So when you do ads, it's thrown in your face, right? You go through something, you just see it, and it's just like in your face. Whereas with content, let's say YouTube, for example, if you were to create a YouTube video and it comes up on the homepage, well, they have to physically click on that video to watch it. This is why it's so much better to do personal branding and organic content than ads alone, right? Because if you're going to choose one and you're just going to focus on one, 100% do organic, right? If you want to scale, do organic and ads, right? Don't just do ads alone because it's not going to give you the best, return on investment. Building a personal brand will give you the best return on investment because you're going to create content, you're going to build your personal brand, and you're going to start getting more clients and customers for your business. And by the way, as I mentioned already, if you do need any help with starting your personal brand and scaling your business, and you're a founder, entrepreneur, or a business owner that's already making 6, 7, or 8 figures, feel free to click the link in the description below, book in a call with me, and I'm happy to see how I can potentially help you. And if you want to know why your business will stay stuck if you don't build a personal brand, click the video that you see on your screen, and I'll see you guys there.